All right, so today we're here with Marc in Lake Mills, Wisconsin, on beautiful Rock Lake behind us. Marc just added on to his house here. As you can see, the old house is kind of off in the back there, the original house, I should say, and a beautiful addition here. Marc, could you kind of take us through the project?
Yeah, first it's an honor to be on camera with Mike. I've seen his videos. So we moved here about 3 years ago. We lived in Fort Atkinson, and this was our summer home we built in 2000. So we had a small house over on that side with a detached garage and didn't have a master bedroom suite. So when we moved up here, that was the plan, was we wanted an attached garage with a master bedroom suite on the same floor. So we talked to the architect about that, and he said, yeah, we can make that happen. The issue for me was I really thought this was an opportunity to put in a golf simulator. And we were gonna have an unfinished attic that was just gonna be rafters and trusses. And I asked the architect, hey, is there any way we could squeeze in a 10-foot ceiling and put a golf simulator up there? And he said, sure. So I had to convince my wife. When I found out we could do it for a pretty reasonable price, we did it.
So with Marc's addition here, he went through Carl's Golf Room Design Service and had our customer service kind of lay out the room and tell him exactly where things needed to go to make it work best for his space. So Marc, why don't we go check it out?
Yep, come on up.
Wow, it's an awesome space, Marc. Yeah, so can you kind of tell us what is in this space as far as the golf simulator goes? You know, kind of what you chose for each different piece?
Yeah, so the first thing we did, we had to know the size requirement, so Carl's was really helpful. After I met with your designers, you know, they said it could be done with a 9-foot ceiling. We do have a 9-foot ceiling in the basement, but 10 foot's optimal or more. And we could get that here. We had to have them redo the truss design so we get 10-foot ceilings. Then they talked about we need a foot behind the screen. We need, I think it was 10 feet where you're actually going to play, another 8 feet back to the flight scope. So we really needed a 20 by 20 room. So we looked at the bigger enclosures, but you guys actually advised this, and this is great. It's almost 14 feet wide, almost 8 feet high, 5 feet deep. Haven't hit any walls yet. Lets us have some windows rather than just covering up the whole thing like a tunnel. So yeah, we're thrilled with it.
For the 7.7 by 13, you know, almost 8, almost 14 wide is kind of the 16 by 9 aspect ratio, which is good for obviously golf simulation, but also watching movies, sports.
Yep, we watch Packer games here. We watch the Ryder Cup here. We watch movies at night. It's been great.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time up here now.
Awesome. It looks like you have the Carl's Place mat here. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would not have known this if you guys hadn't helped us, but it really is nice and soft, and you don't get sore playing hours. I haven't played hours, my son has, and I think it makes a huge difference.
Awesome, yeah. Projector, looks like you have a BenQ TK700. It's a great 4K projector. Is that what you were looking for, was 4K?
We were looking for something that would make TV and movies look good in addition to the golf simulator. I did do a little background and went to, you know, kind of your competitors and Best Buy, and this is one you recommended. I think it's an outstanding choice. Really gave us a great picture.
Yeah, budget-friendly 4K option.
That's exactly right.
And last main piece is the FlightScope Mevo Plus, just hiding back here on us, but can you kind of tell us why you went with that and how it's been going so far?
Yeah, so launch monitors, there are several choices, and this one seemed to be the most budget-friendly. It's a pretty good deal. It gives us a great result. Sits quietly in the back. It doesn't have that box up front that some of them have. So yeah, we really like it.
And I think you said somebody built you a computer here. Obviously, we don't handle computers at Carl's Place, but that's still an important part. Can you tell us a little bit maybe about that?
Yeah, I highly recommend having a millennial in the family. So my son, he actually set it all up for me. He and I put up the enclosure and put everything together, and he did all the software stuff, but his good buddy builds high-end gaming computers, and so he built me a high-end gaming computer.
Nice. When you contacted and started the design service, what did you have to do on your end to fulfill what Carl's needed on our end?
It was
just basically give them dimensions.
Yeah, dimensions, make sure we had the height right, make sure we could get the internet up here, that type of thing. It was very easy. You know, it's done all over the phone or through email, and once you guys designed it for us, they sent us, you know, the little schematics, just gave that to my builder, made sure that everything was right. He blocked out the area where we're going to have to hang the projector, and they were kind of proud geeks in some respects. They're like, oh yeah, we're excited about putting a golf simulator in. So let's get that Ethernet cable up here and we'll leave this here. And it all worked out real well.
So let's talk about products from Carl's Place. Obviously you've got premium screen, you've got a 5-foot deep enclosure. We talked about, I think it's 7.7 high by 13 wide. Quality-wise, how did it go together? Was it easy to assemble? And what do you see in the quality of it?
The quality is fantastic. My son and I put the whole thing together in about an hour and a half at most. Directions were straightforward. It was really easy. You definitely need the padding. If you don't get the padding in there, you're going to have balls flying all over if you hit a pipe. I thought that maybe the cheaper, kind of more economical version of this enclosure was going to be PVC pipes, but it's not. It's all steel. So it's very sturdy. It's worked out really nice.
Can you tell us about the premium screen? Obviously, that's our top-end screen, but have you noticed any? I know you're just kind of starting to use it, but have you noticed any wear? Have you noticed high image quality?
Yeah, so that was one thing that I really wanted to know from you guys is it worth getting a bigger enclosure? Is it worth spending money here or there? And you were very helpful saying spend the money on the screen. And it was only a couple $100 more. And yeah, the quality's excellent. Haven't seen it anywhere. And my son's been hitting, I think, a couple hours a day for the last 6 weeks. Yeah, the picture's excellent.
Good. All right, so obviously with a golf simulator room, you can use it for many different aspects. Let's focus on golf for now. How are you using this simulator? Are you planning on using it to improve your game? Are you planning on having friends and family over for entertainment? Can you kind of tell us about how you're planning to use it?
Yeah, so when I first thought about the idea, it was purely I wanted to improve my game. We live in Wisconsin, and 6 months of the year you don't get to play. Last couple of years I've got a friend in Florida that we've gone down in January to play, and you haven't swung a club for 3 months. Now, right now it's mid-October and I'm still playing outside, but in the next week or so, I think several times a week I'll be up here swinging the clubs. And hopefully, with all the analytics, I'll be able to be a better golfer by January.
Right.
That's my hope.
Right. And even on days like today, if it was nice out, you could golf outside, but you never know in October here in Wisconsin. I mean, it's planning on raining anytime, and so you could just come up here, and the convenience of being up here.
It's that. It's also that, my buddies I golf with in the summer, instead of not seeing them for 3 months, they come over here on, Sunday afternoons and watching Packers. You can actually, my son's been doing this, we'll put the Packer game on or a football game on, and he can swing into this while we're talking, and then he'll watch the screen over here and see what his ball did. So we can watch the game while he's swinging into the screen. I look forward to using it as, not just for golf, but for parties and everything.
All right, so you've been through a lot with Carl's Place. I guess why or why not would you recommend doing the design service and going through Carl's Place?
So I don't think I would have done this if there weren't a Carl's Place that could help me through every step, because I wouldn't know what to buy, wouldn't know why one thing is better than the other. And I have to say, the person who I worked with was completely honest about, hey, if you find a better projector than we've got and you want to buy it, go buy it. Really helpful. There were some things like, we thought we were going to be moving in February. We didn't move in until September. So I had ordered the screen back in January, and he told me, well, we're not going to order the screen until you're ready to go, because you don't want it sitting in a box for more than a week. Or you get creases in it. So we waited till we had everything ready to go before we bought that. So there were so many good reasons to go through the design with you guys. And it all worked out. I mean, I put a few hours of work into this, and now it's better than I ever dreamed it would be.
All right, so I'm assuming you had like a budget you wanted to hit. Can you kind of tell us about that budget and where you maybe landed up?
Yeah, when I first started thinking about this a few years ago, I looked into it, and even a used shot monitor, they were over 20 grand, and that wouldn't have been in the cards for us. But they've come down so much, and when I sat down with Carl's and you guys make your own enclosures, you can get a really, what I think is a spectacular setup for under 10 grand. If you wanted to cut some corners, you could probably do it for under 7 grand. But if we were going to build an addition and have a projector room, it's going to cost you something anyway. So I thought this was a pretty nice compromise. We're pretty excited about it.
Well, thank you for showing us your space, Mark. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
If any of you guys want an awesome space like Mark here, feel free to reach out to our customer service team. We answer emails, chats, phone calls. Call us today. All right. Well, I really love this setup. Do you mind if we take a few swings?
Great.
Awesome.
Why don't you go first? Here's a pitching wedge. And
that's risky. Risky. Oh, stiff.
Very nice.
Hey, how much you selling these clubs for?